Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fabulous Friday TV. Women from all over the world are coming together today. And Fabulous Friday TV is all about celebrating fabulous, living fabulous, being fabulous, and feeling fabulous. I'm Sherry Clergis in Vancouver with At45, the magazine for women when life changes. And I'm the co-founder of Fabulous University, a beautiful platform that's launching for women to take courses wherever they are in life.
Hi everyone, my name's Anne Marrott and I am so happy to be here. Oh, there's a little echo because we've got our mics on, but that's fine. To share in the wealth of knowledge that our speakers will bring to you today. It's Women's Day soon, and I want to celebrate this day by saying that we are all strong women. Okay, we didn't start off that way, and I'm sure that you can all connect with that. So let us remember how we started and where we are today, and keep in mind that it's all about empowering other women, giving them the tools that they need in body, mind, and spirit, and for them to reach their full potential. And so I want to just thank everyone for being here. To all the speakers, thank you for being willing to share your knowledge. Over to you, Sherry.
Thank you, Anne. And could I just, we like to chat at the beginning, but if you can all mute your mic now, and then as you, for the speakers, then they can unmute as they come along. Just a couple housekeeping things. The show is often broadcast live on our channels as well as posted on YouTube after. And if you don't want your image shown, can you please make sure when you log in to shut your video off and it's on the bottom left-hand part of your screen. So last week we had the most fascinating speaker, Leslie Kuster from back from Bali. And she offered up a beautiful sarong as a prize. Now, Leslie, for over 25 years, her clothing has been ethically made by family or women-owned artisan businesses in Bali. Their rayon fabric is locally sourced in Indonesia and sustainably produced. And her goal is to make you happy by bringing you beautiful boho-inspired clothing. And so we're announcing the winner today. And the winner is Karen Irving. Karen, are you on the show today?
She's not actually,
Oh,
Sherry.
too
She hasn't started
bad.
yet.
Oh, well, we'll have to let her know. So if you want to look at the clothing again, it's backfrombali.com. So thank you, Leslie, and congratulations, Karen. So today our topic is, what is your pleasure center? And we're exploring activities that support mental, physical, emotional, and cognitive health. And, your life cycle is like a bicycle tire. When there's flat spots, it makes for a rough ride. And so we're all needing to be cognizant that we need to live a balanced life. And I think I can use my personal experience on this. If your physical, mental, cognitive health, if all of those are not taken care of, you can't experience pleasure. And the story I want to share with you today is in October of last year, I was working on my computer and I looked up, and in 1 second, I realized I had lost the hearing in one ear. And I mean lost, deader than a doornail. So after emergency and everything, I found out it has a name, sudden hearing loss. So appropriate. And then a week later, I lost 30% in the other ear. Now I love jazz music. Well, actually, I love all kinds of music, even rap. And that really affected my pleasure center of listening to music. And the thing is, it happens like this. And so always, I think our number one thing in life is never mind caring for everyone else. That's a great thing. But if we're not taking care of ourselves, our pleasure center can get pretty bumpy ride. So that's what today is all about. We have a great lineup of speakers, and let's get to it.
Okay, so today I just would like to share a short reminder to all women on the show and all women watching the replay. Remember, okay, we are who we want to be. And if you're happy with where you are right now, then that's so be it. That's fine. Okay, it's your choice. But if you want to move, if you want more, then do something about it. Okay, whether you say you can or you say you can't, you're right. And it's all about mindset. And through our speakers today, they'll be touching on these topics, not only mindset, but the physical, the mental, emotional, everything. But I want to remind you that you deserve abundance. It's your right. And how this happens is up to you. And it depends on your mindset. There are many mentors out there who can lead you to the right path. So put yourself first. It is all about you, as Sherry said. Because without you putting yourself first to empower yourself, you can't empower other women. And after all, it's all about giving, right? So go get what you deserve. We're all here to help you, and we're here to help you help others. So that I hope that you get the message that you're looking for today on today's show, and just enjoy, ladies. Over to you, Sherry.
Thank you, Anne. So today, actually, I think it's tomorrow, is International Women's Day. Oh, I'm sorry, my week's mixed up. It actually is next week. But as you know, we've had a contest all month for a beautiful painting from Gofo Sakumis, an artist that's here in Vancouver, and she was born in Greece. This is in honor of International Women's Day. We have been encouraging people to put in bids of people. And this is the story that Gofo shares. Every woman has a story, but through our life, we forget, sometimes intentionally, certain experiences, only to wake up one day feeling stuck and unhappy despite everything we've achieved. And women often give up our power as creators. My message to women in particular is that they tend to store a lot of unprocessed emotions. And it's never too late to open the door of our own soul, start exploring, sweeping out, letting go, and setting our spirits free of all burdens and fears. And creativity is the ultimate way for it. Now, you can see Golfo's art on golfoart.com. And Anne, who is in the lead?
Okay, so Sherry, I have to ask you to, well, I just want to remind the ladies to send their lists of people who they've invited so that I can keep tabs on who's in our database. And so far, there are two people in the running for this amazing painting, and it's Harley Jane James and Sandra Yun. And I see for the first time, is Sandra, is she on? I just see someone, Sandra. I haven't seen her on, but I'll check the full screen just now. And yes, so Holly has invited five late. Well, she's got a list, and so Sandra, a very long list. But Holly's got five people that have attended, and Sandra's got three, and then there are some people that have got one. So so Holly's still in the lead. Well done, Holly.
Way to go, Holly. So the winner is going to be announced next week. And for every a woman that attends the show, well, I guess we could count men too, who attends the show, at45 is giving $1 to the organization kiva.org. And that's a wonderful organization that does micro loaning to all kinds of businesses. but we focus on women businesses. So check out that. It's kiva.org. So our first speaker, I am so excited to have her, is Carrie Toft. Carrie is the owner of Visionary Craniosacral Healing, and over the past 15 years, she has studied and worked all over the world. Her passion lies in facilitating the healing journey of others so that they may live an authentic, balanced life. And Carrie's spiritual path began 25 years ago. Since then, she has become a skilled and gifted craniosacral therapist, a medical intuitive, and a Reiki master. She's an empath and has extensive experience in soul retrieval and somatic practices. And today she's speaking on engaging with the felt sense and the importance of listening to our bodies. So important. Welcome, Carrie.
Thank you. Nice to be here. It's my first time.
We're so happy to have you.
Yeah, thanks. So I guess I'll just jump right in. With my work, my work is all about listening to the body, whether it's mine or my clients. And as little girls, we often grow up being told not to listen to how we're feeling, whether that's emotionally or physically or mentally. So for instance, when I was a little girl, I was told, oh, stop crying. Don't be sad. Don't be mad. Don't be scared. It's okay. And in doing so, my parents were just trying to make me feel better, of course, but they were devaluing my feelings. And same with physical pain. Our bodies speak what our minds or what our voices can't. Same with physical pain. I was taught, if I had a stomach ache or a headache, just to suck it up, take a pill, and push on through rather than listening to what the body was really trying to tell me. Yeah, so the body will speak what the mind cannot. The body holds emotional trauma, physical trauma, and it is our best kind of gauge of where we're at if we are able to both listen and honor what it's trying to tell us. For instance, if I'm feeling stressed and I'm willing to pay attention to that, where in my body am I feeling that? I might be feeling it in a clenched jaw. I might be feeling it in a stiff neck. I might be tending to hold my breath a little bit. If I'm angry, where am I feeling that? And if we can begin to get in touch with these types of feelings, where we're feeling them and how it feels in our body, it can go a long way to releasing emotions that end up just getting stagnant and held within our systems. And this is so important for maintaining optimal health. And like you said, Sherry, if we want to really enjoy and embrace life, we need to feel healthy and be in touch with ourselves emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. So one of the practices that I do for myself every day, I also do it with my clients, is I do a 5-minute guided meditation and just checking in with my body, noticing how, the different areas of my head feel, noticing how my lungs feel. Does it feel like one fills a little more, a little easier when I inhale than the other? Notice how my abdomen feels. Is there any discomfort? Is there any pain? How's my back doing? And I just, 5 minutes a day goes a long way for being in touch, tuning into the system, to the body, and kind of reconnecting the places that we've lost connection with ourselves. I will tell you a beautiful story, 2-minute story. About 12 years ago, I was doing this practice. And I started to feel unwell, and there was nothing I could pinpoint, but I knew that there was something wrong. My cells felt off. That's the best way I can describe it. My cells felt off. I went to get scans, I went to get checked, and nothing was found. I continued to feel worse and worse. And finally, I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. This is a cancer that usually is not detected until its late stages, but I contribute, being able to find it when it was in its very earliest stages, because I was doing this regular checking in. I was good at listening to my body. So yeah, I feel like, it saved my life ultimately. Another beautiful reason for paying attention to how we're feeling is the body will give us little nudges when we are off track, when we're overworked, when we're not on our path, when we're, it might be we're in a job that we don't feel good in. It might be that we are, putting ourselves last on the list, as so many women so often do. It could be a multitude of different things, but our body will begin to give us little nudges if we're not where we should be, if we're not hearing what we need to. And if we can connect and listen to those little nudges, then we don't have to, as Sherry said, get that flat tire. We can notice it getting low and we can pump it up. Those nudges will only continue to get louder and louder and louder if we don't listen until we get our butt kicked. So I always encourage people to really, listen to what your body is, listen to how it's feeling. And if you're, it feels unwell, but you don't know what it's trying to tell you, ask. You can ask your body, what are you trying to tell me? There's 3 really great questions we can ask our body. If we have a pain somewhere, whether it's chronic or acute, we can tune into that pain and we can ask, how long have you been here? And, you might be surprised with the answer. Maybe I have a headache. Maybe I woke up, I didn't, but maybe I woke up with a headache today and I'm doing this practice with it. And I ask that headache, how long have you been here? Maybe it will tell me 5 years rather than just, today. Okay, so this has been something that's been sitting there a while. The second question I would ask it is, how are you serving me? Maybe that headache is serving me. Maybe it's trying to get my attention to, redirect me in a way. And your body will answer you. So trust the answer that comes up, even if you think it's wrong or irrelevant. Trust what that body says. And the third question is, what do you want to share with me that would benefit me to know? And the answer that it will give you is how it would like you to shift, what would be best for you to do in order to live your best life and release that pain. And this short, little, easy practice really works. It works on, getting clarity about what's going on with your body, what it's trying to tell you, and releasing the pain. It takes 5 minutes and it's magic.
That is amazing sharing. Very powerful, Carrie, and so true. Often, I've started to do meditation before I wake up in the morning. I'm going to add that to my schedule, but it's so easy to roll over, grab your phone, and start your day. And instead, if you spend that 5 minutes and tune into yourself, there is so much our psyche is trying to tell us. So thank you for those questions. That was amazing sharing, and we really appreciate you being on. I know you're running to another appointment, so feel free to sign off, but thank you very much again.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. And I look forward to watching the show tonight.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful day, beautiful evening, everyone.
Thanks, Carrie. And Carrie's information will be on the credits of the YouTube afterwards too, and we'll be sharing it out. I think Anne will be putting it in the chat. So thanks again, Carrie.
Okay.
So Anne, bye.
Take care. Bye.
Anne, you're introducing the next speaker.
Yes, and I'm very happy to introduce Neonal. Neonal is a multi-platinum selling singer and songwriter, world published Hay House author, theta healing master and certificate of science. She has a PhD in metaphysics, and on top of all of that, hard to believe, but she's a mother of triplets. And Neonal hosts a library of educational, motivational, inspirational, and transformational workshops and seminars, and has inspired and developed women all around the world. Introducing Neonal, welcome to Fabulous Friday TV. Neonal is also a sponsor of a gift today for all of you ladies, and she will announce that when she's finished her talk. Are you there?
I'm here. Thank you so much, Anne. Wow, that was a mouthful. I hope everyone immediately fell in love with me, yes, after that introduction. Everything is about pleasure. We all want to feel good. We all want to enjoy our lives and have the freedom to be who we are, express who we are, do what we want to do, believe what we want to believe, and just feel what we want to feel. And so I absolutely loved what Carrie was telling us about the body and how the body actually speaks to you and tells you. The body never ever lies. It will always tell you when something is out of balance, either mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. So I am going to just give you a couple of tips and little tricks that I've learned in my life. And I know I look 24, but I'm actually turning 50 this year, and I feel fabulous. And I think it has a lot to do with my children being 13 and teenagers. They always tell me, Mom, stop being such a teenager. Now, I believe that we should stay eternally young. That is a choice. Everything is a choice in life. I want to share with you just a couple of things that I've learned how to simplify relationships, your health, your wealth, because we have this tendency to complicate everything, and then eventually we're in this maze of unclarity and not knowing what to do. The most important thing to reach pleasure is to see what you believe about pleasure. What do you believe about joy? What do you believe about happiness? What do you believe about you receiving everything that you desire? Now, it's not hard to find out what you believe. You really literally just have to look at your reality. You've just got to look at your relationships, look at your wealth, look at your health. And if currently things aren't flowing for you in these areas of your life, you are blocking it with what you're believing or negative emotions that you are holding on to. So there's this eternal, unconditional stream of well-being flowing for you nonstop. If you are not feeling it in your life, if it is not evident in your wealth, in your health, or in your relationships, you believe something that is blocking it. And there is some negative emotions you're holding on to. If we ignore these feelings, and I loved what Carrie said, feelings are very important. Feelings are your guidance system. When you feel happy and joyful, you're in alignment and you're allowing this source of abundance to flow for you. When you're feeling bad, you're out of alignment. When I feel bad, I know I am just currently believing something that is not true about me. That's why I'm feeling bad. I'm out of alignment with who I am. Now, to get back to that place, it's literally just a mind shift, but this takes practice. So in relationships, there's a little trick I do to simplify every single relationship I have in my life. Instead of blaming other people and instead of finding the fault somewhere else, I ask myself these two questions with every single relationship. Just to tell you, there's basically just these three areas. Every client I will see will come to me with either a health problem, a wealth problem, or a relationship problem. And I'm going to simplify it for you very quickly. Every health and wealth problem basically starts metaphysically with relationship problems. And there is many relationship problems that relationships that we have. You have your children, you have your co-workers, you have your parents, you have your spouse, you have your friends, your family. But ultimately, every relationship in your life is a reflection, and it's just reflecting back to you the relationship that you have with yourself. And this is why when I look at a group of women, I'm fascinated because I know each one of them are going to introduce me to a part of me that I haven't met yet. In truth, all of us are one. And what I love about you is what I love about myself, and what I resist in you is what I resist in me. So when I look at my relationships with people, I know that they are just coming into my life to show me what needs to shift and heal in me. So to very quickly simplify and bring joy back into my relationship with my spouse or with my children or with my friends and family, if something is triggering me, if something's bothering me, I always ask myself, what am I feeling right now? I establish the feeling. I love what Carrie said. Find it in my body. What is it telling me? And then I ask myself, what do I need from this person that I'm not receiving right now that is causing me to feel triggered, that is causing me to feel dis-ease or unease? Once I've established what I need from them. So if I feel that they are not appreciating me, or if I feel that they're not accepting me for who I am, or if I feel that they don't understand me, whatever it is that I feel, I know that this is what I need from them. And as long as I need it from them, I'm going to continue to suffer. I need to learn to give to myself what it is that I need from these people. And this is what they're coming to teach me. They're coming to teach me how to love myself, how to appreciate myself, how to respect myself, how to be honest with myself. The second question I ask is, what do I want to change about this person or this situation? Now, I know I've been around a while. You cannot change somebody else. But for the purpose of this exercise, I imagine I have a magic wand and I can change anything about this person to make them better and their lives better and my life better. And once I have established that one thing I would like to change about them, then I know exactly what I need to change about me. Now, this is a very truthful exercise and not always very comfortable on the ego, but I guarantee you that this will shift the relationships that you have with everyone. And once you understand this on a relationship part, it will expand outwards into your health and into your wealth, because every relationship you have is going to determine how well you're doing in your wealth or in your health. These issues in your wealth and your health are just starting with your relationships. Now, any negative emotion is just a call for balance. If you're currently feeling resentment, don't judge yourself for feeling it. Don't judge yourself, just become an awareness. Your resentment is telling you that you have been out of balance for too long. And most often, you are the person giving, never receiving, and you're finally feeling this is enough. When is it my turn to get? So acknowledge there's just been an imbalance, and you have to learn to receive. Now, receiving and giving is like breathing. We have to inhale in order to exhale. And if we don't allow ourselves to inhale, we will have nothing to give. So when there's a feeling of guilt, which is on the other spectrum, is usually when you have been taking, and you feel that guilt for not giving. So their balance is needed again, you know. Like Carrie says, we store these emotions in our body. You store anger in your liver. You store shame, feelings of shame in your pancreas. You store feelings of guilt in your spleen. In your lungs, you store regret and grief. In your colon, you store abuse. And when you start to get to know the body, you will actually know exactly what you're dealing with. And there's wonderful authors out there, like that little beautiful small little book of Louise Hay. That is such a wonderful book. Louise Hay, it's Heal Your Body. That's a very quick reference to just see which part in your body is taking strain. Have a quick look at that map, and then you know what you're dealing with possible metaphysic reason for your ailment. But when something is out of alignment, you're literally blocking the flow of this unconditional wellness that's always flowing for you eternally. Change what you believe, release the negative emotions. You're supposed to have fun. Life is supposed to be a journey of adventure, and you're supposed, that's why children comes into your life. Play with them, have some fun, find a new dream. I think the challenge for women over 45 is that we have done so much in our lives, and some part of us says, well, I felt anything. No, you haven't. I have been at a place where I thought I have been wealthy, very, very wealthy. I'm wealthy, I've had success, I have been famous, I have the children. I think I've experienced everything. What am I still living for? And then I will go and walk around my block, and I will see the most beautiful blossoms, and I will breathe it in, and I will experience it like I've never experienced it before. My children will come home and do something, and it will bring up an emotion and a feeling in me that I've never felt before. We come to this plane of existence to feel. Never ever is one feeling the same as we felt it before. Every time we fall in love, we feel differently. Every time we have children, we feel differently. Every feeling is unique in its own magnificent way. Allow yourself to feel everything. Your feelings are your guidance system, and when you're feeling good, you're in alignment, and when you're feeling bad, you're out of alignment. It's really just that simple. That's your guidance system. Listen to that. I showed you how to do those 2 little questions with relationships, but you can do it with every issue in your life. Your body is telling you, it's always just a call for balance. Balance, balance. Give to yourself what you need. And the whole journey that all of us are on is just to get back to the wholeness of who we are, to remember that we are love, that we are part of this beautiful source of love, that we are magnificent, and that each one of us is a beautiful melody. And you are sung. You're a song being sung by our source, by our creator. This energy that flows through all of us. But you get to write the music. You write the lyrics of that song. You choose the style. And this energy that flows through you eternally, unconditionally, will create this beautiful music that you decide to create. So Anne, you said I should tell, I don't know even how long I spoke. I hope I didn't take too much time. I didn't see flags coming up, or was I supposed to pause? Am I in time?
We were so memorized by your talk. It was so well done. Yes, you're just on time. And and do you want to announce your gift to everyone, or should I do it?
And you are so welcome to tell them about my gift. It's just that I find sharing what I've learned with people so satisfying. It is so fulfilling, and it would be lovely if all of you would like to share in my gift. It would be such an honor for me to have you there, and I will let Anne tell you more about it.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. So I'm going to put a link in the chat, and the link is free access. It's a free webinar that's open up to everyone that on the show to join Neonal in her Life Simplified webinar. So she's going to talk about how we simplify our life, and I know her work, so I encourage you to take the opportunity to come and attend this free webinar. It's all the details will be on the link. It will be at the end of this month on the 27th of March. I'm not sure how the time will work for you, but I think it's an okay time for Canada. So most of you are Canada, USA, on the West Coast. So that should work well for you. Thank you so much for this gift. It's amazing. Thank you, Nana.
Thank you. And if they can't make the time slot, they're welcome to register and receive the replay afterwards. So feel free to register. And thank you for taking the time to listen, for hosting this beautiful show, Sherry and Anne. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Nia. Now, that was so intriguing and inspirational. Gosh, there's just so much that you shared that really resonated with me, because for years I did shut off the world, and your perspective is just so in tune with where I am in my life now, and thank you for sharing.
And so I'd like to introduce our next speaker is Asha Dulab. Asha is a psychologist. Asha embraces her own interest in addressing and balancing the many unique aspects that collectively make up an individual. Asha is compassionately committed to working with children, with adults of all different ages and cultures and cultural backgrounds, presenting a broad spectrum of health, mental, emotional, and learning difficulties. Welcome, Asha. I'm very happy to have you on. Are you there? Have you got your mic open?
Hi, Anne. I'm here. Thank you so much. It has been such a pleasurable experience just listening to the speakers, and I just wish I could sit and enjoy this whole seminar for so much longer. But yeah, I am tight for time. But thank you, Nia, and thanks for the first speaker. I just missed her name, but yes, pleasure. You know, when I thought about this word pleasure, I thought, what does pleasure mean for me? And the first word that came up for me was freedom. Just to feel free to be me, free to be my authentic self, free to speak my mind, and most importantly, just that energy of truth, that energy of just the being rather than the doing as a person. And then I asked myself, okay, so what is the opposite of pleasure? Because, I mean, I think that we all are seeking pleasure. We all want the experience of pleasure. And in working with people, I deal with this every single day, with people wanting to seek the sense of happiness, all this pleasure. And then I ask, maybe I should ask you all to take a moment and think about what is the opposite of pleasure? And keep that in mind as I chat through. For me, I think in the work that I do, it's often, I think it's pain. For others, it's the opposite of pleasure. It's the pain. And I think in life, we experience life always in opposites. You know, in order to experience pleasure, we need to also experience pain. And we are in this battle between pain and pleasure. It's all about that contrast. And I think that goes for most of our life experiences. And I think after we attend to all our survival needs, we naturally seek our pleasure, whether it's just coming home from a day's work. We just want to seek pleasure, whether it's that relaxation on our bed, or whether it's engaging with our children, or whether it is having a drink, a glass of wine. We are seeking that. It's natural to seek that. But, you know, I was speaking about this contrast, and I thought, okay, so why do we battle with this? And why do I find so many people in this contrast? And I thought, let me look at pain. What does pain do to us? It restricts us. It makes us shut down. It withdraws us from our human relationships and our connections. And it's a restrictive mode that it places us in. And then when we look at pleasure, it's expansion, it's that freedom, it's that extension of us as a human being. And I think that when we are experiencing pleasure, we are tapping into all of our senses. And how beautiful is that? And when I thought about an emotion that goes with pleasure, the first thing that comes to mind is the emotion of awe. Because when is it that I experience pleasure? For me, it's actually the simplest pleasures in life. And I related to moments of awe. As this year started, I promised myself that I'm going to at least have or experience 2 sunrises and 2 sunsets in a week. And I've really been doing that. It's just been so phenomenal because those are the experiences of awe that I look for. AWE, it's that awe. And what is awe for me? It's timeless. I'm not rushing. I'm not watching the clock. I'm not goal orientated. I'm in silence. When I look at that sunset or that sunrise, I go into a space of complete stillness. And for me, that is complete joy and complete pleasure in that moment. So we need to stop and pause and search for those moments of awe in our days, because we all do experiences, but we experience these moments of pleasure all the time. But because our lives are so distracted and we are so busy doing, I feel that many of us are not stopping enough and grasping those moments of pleasure and joy, or awe, as I say, whether it's that sipping that cup of coffee or that cappuccino, or whether it's just me looking at the sunset or engaging with my children, or connection. I think now it's we have realized and we've appreciated the power of connection so much more after this in this pandemic. So what does it mean for me when I'm in that emotion of awe? It also opens up my mind for creativity. I become more creative. I think more clearly. I become more appreciative. So it's about listening not only to my body, which is very important, as the previous speakers have mentioned, but also to take note of listening to my own internal dialogue. What is it saying to me? How am I feeling? Am I giving myself permission to feel this, or am I feeling guilty? I think guilt really comes up when we're trying to experience pleasure. We get torn by this guilt as if not giving ourselves permission to experience the pleasure. And I think that we need to really go back and ask ourselves, what are our stories when we think about pleasure? And it really goes back to our childhood. And how was pleasure understood in our early years? Were we made to feel guilty to experience pleasure? Did we was it a reward and punishment scenario, or were we able to experience pleasure freely, giving ourselves permission to laugh, to joke, to experience those outings, those holidays, or were we restricted? Some of us come from places where we were faced with being in a survival mode all the time, almost not even experiencing pleasure and almost having to bargain with ourselves to experience that moments of pleasure. So it's really going back and looking and asking ourselves, what was it like as a child growing up for me to experience pleasure? Because it will really give you an understanding as to how you are experiencing pleasure right now. Are you giving yourself permission to feel the freedom, to feel the joy, to be able to release the pain? Because in the work that I do with the clients that I see, we are suffering. There's a lot of trauma. None of us are immune to trauma, and we are all seeking that pleasure. But it's about working through that pain in order to experience the pleasure. So I always start with being present. With the listening, with the deep listening, it also comes with deep affection. Really offering care to ourselves, the self-compassion and the self-empathy to ourselves, but also to other people. And that ties into listening, because when we listen attentively to other people and we listen to ourselves, we elicit the healing response in others and in ourselves, and we eliminate suffering, the suffering of the pain, which allows us that capacity to experience pleasure. And also what would be important is appreciation for the little things that are around us, that we just need to grasp and offer gratitude. Just waking up to the beautiful sunrise, or even just waking up and opening our eyes and being able to go into our meditation, we need to be grateful for those little moments of pleasure that we are experiencing, and then accept life as it is in the moment. I think so many of us battle with circumstances in our lives that we don't actually experience a little pleasure because our minds are distracted by the what ifs, the future, the fear that lies in the future. And also some of us get stuck in our past experiences, and both of those past and future experiences actually just imprisons us and takes us away from the present moment. I always see the present as a gift from God, the present moment. So we need to embrace every single moment of the present moment. And I often say, ask more questions. In order to experience more pleasure, go into a deliberate investigation on this term of pleasure. What is pleasure for me? Question yourself, question others, and in that you will find the answers within yourself to experience this beautiful emotion, experience of pleasure and awe. And also, I would say, what's really important is to live consciously. So many of us are living in such a habitual, repetitive manner that we are missing the moments where we are just sitting and engaging with another human being or sipping that lovely cup of coffee. Let's do it with complete consciousness, because when we are living out of complete habit, we are living unconsciously. So let's pause, let's take in what life has to offer us, and let's enjoy it with complete joy and gratitude each day. Thank you so much.
That was just so powerful, Asha. The relationship that you mentioned about awe and pleasure, it really is true. You won't experience that pleasure unless you're in tune with the awe of the moment. So thank you so much for sharing with us today and taking time out of your busy schedule.
Pleasure.
Hi, Sherry. So we have so much value being added today, but Victoria needs to go next. And I know you're just wanting to give out gifts, but but she needs to go. So I'm sorry, can we put her on now?
Absolutely. Hello, Victoria, and welcome. I'm doing the intro, sorry. Victoria is a registered psychotherapist with a master's degree and over 8 years of education in Eastern-based modalities, as well as an author, speaker, and wellness coach. And she's been guiding adult individuals, couples, and companies towards the commitment of being the transformation gatekeepers and the renovation heroes of their lineage. She inspires people to find their self-culture, heal their relationship culture, move past their dysfunctional family culture, and step into their personal power. So welcome, Victoria.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you from Toronto, Canada. Don't know where everyone's from, but I hear South Africa, I hear BC, I hear all kinds of different places. So I'm so pleased to be here. And thanks, Anne and Sherry for inviting me. So here's what I want to say. Your brain is a dangerous neighborhood. And you don't go into a dangerous neighborhood without tools, without ways to take care of yourself. You just don't do it. It's not a good idea. And so, with trauma, I'm a psychotherapist. I've been in practice for over 25 years. And the thing is, a lot of people do come from, family of origin, family culture, where there was some sort of trauma, whether it's, violent communication or, a sense of abandonment or a sense of neglect, or even the bigger traumas. But it's all going to register as trauma on the soul, on the being. It's all going to register as that stuff. And so trauma teaches us to close our heart and armor up, and healing teaches us, let's open our heart. But But the true healing happens when we open our heart and boundary up. Okay, so you can go into the world, but if you don't, again, your brain is a dangerous neighborhood. If you don't have the good tools of good quality boundaries, good quality self-advocacy, good quality, no one's coming to save us. Newsflash, no one's coming to save us. The only people that are going to save us is our own self. And that's something that, people feel either resentful of or feel, guilty about doing it for themselves. But, I always say that adulting, true adulting, actual adulthood, you're in your adult when you decide, guess what? There's only me, and I got to self-care, and I got to self-advocate, and I'm the gatekeeper of me. No one else is going to be the gatekeeper of me. I'm the gatekeeper of me. Yay. And that's not easy for everybody. Some people it comes naturally, but some people it doesn't. Okay. And often what I want to have you just pause and think about is something I talk a lot about is how do we dim our light? I do various talks. I just did a talk at the Harvard Medical School to a group, believe it or not, they wanted this work. They wanted the kind of work that says, I gave them a list of choices of talks to do. And one of them that they chose was Stop Dimming Your Light, which made me just be so tickled that this sort of very intellectual, very scientific crew was interested in, this work, because guess what? We're all just human beings and everyone's going through a pandemic worldwide, and everyone needs to know how they can stop dimming their light and start to feel a sense of empowerment, a sense of shining their inner soul with the world, or with their family, or with their company, or with their school, or whatever it is, their group, or whatever it may be. So where in your life do you feel like you're hiding? Just write it down. Just have a moment. Where do you feel like you wish you spoke up more, were more authentic? And that's, the clue where you start to go, oh, that's where I need to, start to bravely shine my light. And, why do we hide? Why do we dim? Why do we self-efface? Why do we operate from the false self, or the self that we kind of had to be to survive whatever family of origin, or possibly bullying at school, or maybe later on in life, a bullying boss or something of that nature that caused us to just shut down. And we're wired, for that sort of negativity bias. We're literally, it's a vestige of our old primitive self. It's a vestige of our survival primitive Neanderthal self that said, I need to be looking for problems, looking for issues so I can survive. I don't want to be blindsided. So I need to prepare for something negative to come my way. So, people say, why am I so negative? In my, don't criticize yourself for feeling always negative. Just know that you're actually speaking from a part of you that is your survival, primitive, the limbic system, fight, flight, freeze, the most primitive aspect of the brain. And that is in operation, the dangerous neighborhood reference, if we don't do something about it. We don't, the limbic primitive self is looking for the saber-toothed tiger, or the war, or the problem. And yes, there's a lot of crap going on in the world, but the thing is that we don't always have to live that way. And, studies have shown that our brain sticks to the -5. It's like Velcro for negative, and Teflon for positive. So we need at least 5 positive thoughts. That's why I love affirmations. 5 positive thoughts for each negative thought that we have. And, the truth is that when we come to the table of our adulthood with a primal wound, maybe rejection in the family, or, feeling, you can think of all the ways in which this primal wound makes its presence known in your being, in one's being, in my being. It does the number of providing us with a lot of evidence to stay in that negative way of thinking. And so we have to go about the business of creating hope creating hope within us. And that's not evidence-based. That's the news flash, is that, you know, hope cannot be generated from only the outside world's evidence. You have to do this inner work within yourself to begin to see, almost force yourself to see the good in things. And that's how you start to generate that hope. And then that starts to be matched with the biochemistry of hope. And that's serotonin and dopamine, that's pleasure, and endorphins, that's enthusiasm. But you've got to generate that through a lot of work with yourself through, and I'm going to give you the tip on how to do that, disruption. You have to disrupt. So awareness is key. What's the thing that causes me to constantly feel crappy or negative or looking for problems, or honoring that sort of primitive part of you, you know, protection. Awareness. But awareness alone can do nothing, right? So awareness first, then a commitment to disrupt. 2. So awareness first, disrupt. 2. 3, courage to keep disrupting. 4, repetition, because you have neural pathways that you've got to start to work with. The biology of change requires awareness, disruption, repetition. Awareness, disruption, repetition. And so the neural pathways eventually will start to be much more naturally skewed toward the positive. And I do a little exercise, which we'll do together real fast. And I sent a message to this next meeting that I've got to be a little bit late, and they're cool with that. So I'm gonna stay with you guys for just a minute, okay? So close your eyes, and when you're closing your eyes, make contact with the part, like the sort of tender aspect of your chest, just underneath your collarbone, and touch your collarbone here. You can close your eyes after you've located it. Just find your collarbone, come down, and this is A27. This is the 27th point on the kidney meridian, which is our fear center of the meridian. And just sort of go round and round in that area. You might feel a little tight and a little bit sore. Okay, now close your eyes, and I'm going to work with those 2 points. Okay, those 2 points. And I'm going to take you from the disgusting to the divine. How's that for a concept? So the disgusting is going to be, does everyone know what a hook looks like? A meat hook. A meat hook. One of those nasty ass meat hooks in a butcher. Okay. That represents all of the fear, guilt, shame, a big hook. And imagine 2 hooks going into your meat. You're hooked in. Other people's expectations, shame about, you know, standing up for yourself, guilt that you didn't please someone else, guilt that you couldn't say no or did say no. I mean, whatever, however it manifests. And just imagine that those 2 hooks are filled into your, like literally into your meat, like those sharp hooks going into your meat. And that's the awareness part. You have to go into the ugly first. Really be aware of that. Because you can't just avoid it. You got to know what it is that's making you stay in the negative, dim your light. You got to unlock your brain through awareness first. So that, just be very conscious of that. The hook is in you. Now take your thumb, both thumbs, and then basically put your thumbs into those imaginary hooks. And you're going to say the word while doing the movement. And I will do it, and then you will do it. And it'll be 1, 2, 3, and you'll take those hooks out, unhook. 1, 2, 3, everybody unhook together and say it, unhook. Okay, let's go back one more time because we're neural pathways, so we need repeat. You're aware of the guilt, the other people's expectations, the disease to please, the crap other people put on you, the crap you put on yourself, the stuff you don't stand up for. Put your 2 thumbs into those 2 hooks that are in your meat, in your soul, and 1, 2, 3, and say it, unhook, and imagine that hook coming out. Woo! That freedom, that freaking freedom we feel when we unhook from other people's crap, from our guilt, from our shame. Okay, that's disrupt. So awareness, you know what it is. And the awareness involves being courageous to look at the crap, look at what it is. Run into the burning building and find out that ember that caused the fire. Go. It's counterintuitive, isn't it? But do it. Number 2, really feel it hooked in you. Don't bullshit yourself. Excuse me, I swore. Don't BS yourself. Really know how it hooked into you. And then be willing to kinesthetically, in movement, get in there and say, no, disrupt, unhook. And then you're going to do, I'm unhooking all day. How about you? I'm unhooking all day from crap. I'm unhooking from the news. I'm unhooking from what I feel that's not productive. I'm unhooking from, someone I thought saw me me being hooked into their crap, whatever it is. My mother, whatever, my husband, my own insecurities. Become aware, know how it's really affecting you, courage to disrupt and commit to the disrupt. And because you're trying to rewire your brain, because you're trying to unlock your brain from that negativity bias, from that primitive part of you, you need to commit every day to notice it, disrupt it, and repeat it. Notice it, disrupt it, and repeat it. It's the single most useful tool that is so simple yet so powerful for you to disrupt the negativity bias. I'll go back to the beginning of my talk, which was your brain is a dangerous neighborhood. You need tools to be in that neighborhood. This disruption tool is a key tool to navigate the dangerous neighborhood that our mind can be. And this is what changes your mindset. This is what helps you to stop dimming your light. This is what helps you to start drawing boundaries. This is what helps you to start to step into your power and self-advocate. This is what helps you to do what you came on this planet to do, which is to not operate from a dimmed self. The planet needs us, especially women, I gotta say, to really, really shine our light, use our inspiration, and no longer buy into the BS that may have been taught in our early forming years.
Amazing, Victoria. Amazing. We are learning so much today. It's just fascinating.
Sorry, Sherry, I want to say, I paused just so everyone could just take that info in. And I'm going to end in just a minute. Make sure you wrote down the formula for change. Alone can do that all. Commit to the disruption. Courage, keep that courage going, that you keep disrupting it. And then repeat. That equals change. And then this is just one tool you can use to disrupt. Use the tool of disruption through unhooking from your thought, your assumption, your shame, your guilt, other people's crap, whatever. Unhook. It's like, unhook. And remember this, just last thing. Run into the burning building. Go look for what it is. It's counterintuitive. Go look for what it is. Okay? All right. Now I've ended.
Well, powerful, always powerful.
And I have a gift, right, Sherry? I wanted to mention my gift.
Yes, go for it. Share it.
All right. So, you
yes, the link.
This is a holistic. The evidence that says the child in us needs to be healed. We could be, 82. Guided meditation with my voice and some original music that is so effective to start to rewire and heal the child within, teen, okay? And the good news is that if you start to do it, rewire your mind to create a new memory about the past. You can see the past in a new way, even though many of us have childhood trauma. You start to the body and the brain and the biochemistry does not differentiate between real or imagined. Okay, so you start to I'm 55. you got to start to tell your brain a new messaging. Okay, and do it through the power of visualization. And my website is called Visualization Works, because guess what? Visualization works.
That's so awesome.
Thank you for taking the time, Victoria, to share that with us. I just have to say, the power of live shows is that when there is momentum happening and great thoughts coming together, we just have to keep going. So, gosh, we have prizes to give out. Some of the most exciting things. So the first one, I just have to, because I have to go back in my notes here because we bypassed it. So today, to get the first prize, what we want you to do is in the chat, put your favorite form of activity that you use to support your mental or physical health. So in the chat, we're going to pick a number from 1 to 2, or we're going to pick a number of the participants today. But first I want to show you this because it's one of my favorite things. So this is, the prize is from Sage, and it's a Sage Relax Kit. So Sage exists for one simple reason: to help you feel better naturally. And now what this Relax Kit includes is a roller and a spray. The roller is called Calming Mist. And my most favorite thing about the kit, do you see this ring? And so down my finger. You can move it from finger to finger. So when you want to relax, it's busy day, something crazy you've got to do, you can spray the mist, put this on your finger and just roll it back and forth. And it's like a mini massage. It is absolutely amazing. It's one of my most favorite things. I give it out to everyone at Christmas and for gifts. So that's from Sage Relax. So Anne, do we pick number 1 to 10?
Yeah, we can. You can pick it.
Okay. So let's say 6.
That's Terry.
Terry. Congratulations. So we have your information, and we'll be sending that to you. So then we're going to get back into the regular line. And yes, so now what we have is a survey for the end of the show. Well, we announce the last prize. So Anne, do you want to just say a little bit about the survey?
Yeah, I'll put the link on, and if you can go into the link at some stage and give us some feedback, that would be great, and we will announce the winner at the end. Oh no, we won't. We will announce the winner next week, right?
That's right. That's right. So what you need to do is you need to take that link URL out of the chat now and pop it into your browser, because once we close the show, you won't be able to get that link. So if you open it up now, then you'll have it. And I'm going to tell you about the prize. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you can see what I'm wearing, but it's absolutely beautiful. soft and it's silk. And it is from the most amazing designer, Carrie Patterson, and her brand is called Kami, and it's kamiclothing.ca. So the diversity of her clothing line is representative of her respect for individuality and the beauty of everybody. There are sizes from the very smallest to 5 extra large, and no two garments are identical, and each one incorporates the playful artistic spirit of the artist. She free hand cuts and then sews jacket, ponchos, vests, tunics, and tops. And this is one of them. And she's given us the most amazing prize. First, I just want to show you her bag. It's just lovely. With a model from California on there, Los Angeles. But this is the prize. It's sort of like a shrug, and you'll have to tell me again because I can't see the screen, but can you see it?
We can see it.
And great. And it's got things that you can wear either slung over one shoulder or you can knot it at the bust. So a beautiful piece of clothing. Look her stuff up online, KOME clothing.ca. So that brings us to the end of the show. My gosh, it's been such a full show today, but just amazing the things that we've been able to learn. So one thing is we want you to go to our YouTube channel at 45 Women Disrupting Influences. And we want you to share one episode or episode 1 on your Facebook and Instagram and tag at Fabulous University and 5 women friends. And we're going to randomly pick someone from that. And we have we'll announce the winner next week. So next week, we're talking about the social part of our life cycle. That is the relationships outside of our family. And we will be exploring all kinds of things like online dating. We've got just, again, an amazing collection of women to share on this. So please share this show with all of your friends. Remember, the more people you invite and they put their name, or put your name as the referral, they are going to be counting up to win that beautiful painting from Golfo. So thanks so much for joining us. Thanks, Anne, for coming on.
Yes, and I just want to say that Karen Irving is here. So I just want to announce again that she has won the sarong, and well done to her. We'll get that sarong to you as soon as we can, Karen.
Perfect. So have a wonderful week. Be fabulous. Bye.